Now we're going to learn about solutions. The first word we will learn about is ne. The solution to ne is to feed your child. If your baby is put onto the breast or bottle when they say the word ne, you'll find that they will latch on properly and you won't get the pulling on and off or the funny little mouth dance that they do. It's important not to interrupt your baby's feed if they're feeding properly. Don't pull them off the breast or bottle and decide to burp them halfway through. Only burp your baby if your baby says the word eh. If your baby says the word ne and they've pulled off, then they're ready to go back on. If they've pulled off and said eh, then again you burp your baby. But if your baby is feeding happily, leave them to feed for the time duration that they're ready for. I am now about to show you a number of different ways of feeding your infant. The second word we will be learning about is ow. Ow is the word that your baby makes when he or she is tired. If your baby is particularly windy, they'll probably prefer to go to sleep in an upright position. These are the sort of babies that also find it easy to fall asleep in the car, but when you put them in the flat cot, they start to cry. If you elevate the cot or the crib and have them fall asleep in an upright position and make sure that they've been burped, you'll find that they'll fall asleep much more easily. Always put your child to sleep on its back and make sure when it starts to roll that it's not able to. At the end of the day, there's nothing better than rocking your baby to sleep. It's very soothing and it's a wonderful time to help with the bonding process. I'm now going to take you through a number of different ways of how to help your baby go to sleep. The third and final word we will be learning today in the solutions section is the word eh. You may find that your baby needs to be burped throughout the day, not just after a feed. Just like us, they can have air bubbles at any time, whether they're asleep, even before a feed. So it's important that when you hear the word eh, that you burp your baby. If you're feeding your baby and it pulls off the breast or bottle and says the word eh, you will need to burp your baby. If your baby says the word eh before a feed, you will also definitely need to burp. It's very important that you don't feed a baby that needs to be burped. If you can imagine a cylinder and you have an air bubble in the cylinder, if you feed on top of an air bubble, the air bubble is either going to come back up and push the milk out the top, or it's going to go back down and cause pain later on in the day. This is what we call the 5 o'clock grizzlies. By burping your baby throughout the day, 5 o'clock grizzlies will be a thing of the past. And just because you don't hear a loud burp doesn't mean that the air bubble hasn't been removed. How you will know is that your baby will stop saying the word eh. If, however, your baby keeps saying the word eh, you know there's still one there and you need to get rid of it. If your baby is asleep and says the word eh, often picking them up and burping them and then putting them back down to sleep helps them to fall back and finish their nap. The other thing about windy children is that they will also prefer to be wrapped. When you wrap a child that has a lot of problems with wind, it's best to wrap them tightly around their tummy but leave their legs so that they can kick and pull them up when need be. You may also find with wrapping that your child may want to have one arm out. Do what's best for your child. Your child will definitely let you know which way it prefers. I am now about to show you some different methods of burping your baby. Thank you for taking part in today's lesson. Remember that you're listening for the word within your infant's cry. It's best to practice these 3 words for at least a week so that you get to know them really well before we start our next lesson. I hope you enjoy getting to know your baby just that little bit better, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson.